Well, my name is André LeRoy Davis, and the name of the show is 50 Shades of Dre, which actually is an incredible title that I did not come up with, but I'll take it. My girlfriend came up with it. Her name is Sheba Maya, so for all y'all Google her, check her out. She's incredible. And more or less, that's how the show became. It's more or less allowed me to hang more than just one feeling, more than just one flavor, all my different shades, from the humorous to the political to the hip-hop to social commentary, a little bit of everything. I get all sorts of things. Hip-hop Picasso, I get this, that. I always just tell people, if you know who Al Hirschfeld was, he was an artist who more or less drew all the happenings that were going on in Broadway. So I said, all right, so I'll be the hip-hop Al Hirschfeld, because for 25 years or more, I've been drawing what's been going on in hip-hop. Back when I was doing it for The Source, it was who was ever on the cover. Whoever was on the cover was who I had to illustrate. Usually, because I wasn't just somebody just drawing, an individual they gave me, I actually was deep in the hip-hop world. I knew what songs they were coming out with. I knew what they had done. I knew what positive they had done. I knew what stupid they had done. I knew what cocky they had done. So, more or less, the individual told their joke themselves. I just more or less reached and found it. You do something stupid, you do something silly, I gotta play on it, And everybody is like loaded with material nowadays with the stupidity level in hip-hop. So if they do something stupid, I pump it out. If they do something positive that needs to be stroked, I'll draw that too. The one that still gets the most reaction would probably be this one right here. That's the KRS tossing Prince B, tossing him off the stage. Because back in, what year was that? Back in '92, there was not the coverage that hip-hop gets now. It was like you had to wait every month to see a magazine or whatever. There was no instant gratification. You go online. So when the story broke about KRS-One tossing him off the stage, there was no photos taken. There was no proof. So what I actually did was I interviewed like 10 people who were actually at the show. But everybody talked about how he grabbed him by the collar, threw him off the stage, and visually that wouldn't really be funny. So I had to take it to the extreme, have him hoisted up. So this one still gets a lot of posting. Everybody talks about that's their favorite one. I've seen it posted lots of places without my name attached to it, and it just run the gamut on Facebook, on Instagram. So I would say probably that's the one that I see most, even when I don't post it. I don't do it as much, but when I was definitely working on the source pieces, whoever was on the cover, whoever I was drawing, I already had the idea, but I would get into that zone. Because if I'm gonna look at your face for like 5-6 hours straight painting you, I gotta like feel you know what I mean? And then the other part of that would be, for some reason a lot of the source deadlines were like Friday, Monday. So like Thursday into the wee hours I'd be painting, and then I'd be listening to Stretch and Barbito, hard. And so that was definitely something that helped artwork-wise. So it was always hearing hip-hop pounding into my head. I will always be a hip-hop head. There's no way that can change. From the first time I heard Fatback Band to the first time I went to a block party and somebody was cutting up Good Times. I'm one of them kids who listen to funk, listen to soul, listen to all that, because at 13, 12 years old was the first time I heard hip-hop. So unlike these kids now growing up where they hear hip-hop from the get-go, that wasn't my experience. So I chose to love hip-hop because, it just did something to me. So with all that said, as much as I still love hip-hop, I may not be a fan of a lot of the artists performing now. Flow-wise, great melodies, but they ain't saying shit. So a lot of them, I got to pull their cards when they ain't saying shit and they think they saying shit. And I actually have no problem with it, because I look at it this way. If I made fun of KRS and Nas and Jay-Z, you can't tell me shit about making fun of you, because you ain't up to their level. So, I mean, I appreciate hip hop, but I'm truthful on hip hop. Well, through the years, people have been asking me to do a solo show and all that. So, but I've lent my pieces to other people's shows, or other people who put out books. I've lent a piece to their shows, whatever. And I just decided I needed to do it for myself, because people who wanted me to do shows either had, in my opinion, ulterior motives, where if they wanted to sponsor it, they wanted me to hang pieces up that they liked, that they didn't want controversial pieces. Maybe there was an artist that they had an association with that they's like, nah, that's pushing it to the limit with that artist. The main thing of making it a point to own all my artwork that I did from the source, and now all these years later, to give somebody else the power over my artwork to hang, I just thought that was dumb. So I'll do it slow like this. I'll do slow previews, whatever I have to do to make it, hang how and the way I want it to hang. Somebody, I guess, I won't call him a kid. He was like in his early 20s, and he came to the show on Friday, and I guess, he walked around, and then he came over to me. He's like, "You just brought back all my childhood memories, and when I was loving hip hop." That alone felt good. I mean, I got other compliments during the show, but for some reason, that one touched me, because I wanted to bring back the feel. When, in my opinion, when hip hop was on point and at its best. The next thing where I want heads into place will be July 8th, a Wednesday, from 6 to 9. You're gonna have the artist talk, where those who weren't here for the opening, you can actually come around, walk around, and I will grab a seat, and you can ask me questions about the pieces up here, the pieces that you remember when you bought the source, and for no reason at all, just because I was in that mode. One of my plans for this show and it hanging up was on my 50th birthday. That's the 50 pieces. I wanted to be somewhere with my artwork hanging, sitting with people coming to enjoy it, and that will be this Wednesday.